Monday Night Raw starts off with John Cena. He was cutting a promo. He gets interrupted by Dominic Mysterio. Dominic ends up mentioning the title match that they had last week for the Intercontinental Championship. And basically, he wants his rematch, but he wants to do things on his terms to give himself the advantage. And he agrees that John Cena agrees to do it at Survivor Series in Dominic Mysterio's hometown. Then we end up getting John Cena alluding to having a match because it is his last time on Monday Night Raw, and he promised a match. So he wants a match. You end up getting Judgment Day. They come out. They attack John Cena. Then we get Sheamus. Rey Mysterio comes out for the save. This leads to a six-man tag match, and the match happens, which was a very fun, enjoyable match. The babyfaces win. I really enjoyed this match. Had some really cool moments, but I enjoyed this overall. This was just a cool, really cool moment just for John Cena's last time being on Monday Night Raw. I really enjoyed this. It's really insane it's really coming to me that it's really gonna be the end. Like, it's really about to be the end of John Cena's career. Like, it's really coming down to the end. It's really getting closer and closer to December 12th, his last and final match. And it's really crazy. It's one of those things where, like, of course, we know it's going to happen, but it's just the closer and closer it gets, the more unreal it just kind of feels, and it's starting to really settle in that this is actually going to be the end. Because John Cena is one of those guys where it's just like we all knew it was going to come eventually, but it just feels so unreal that he's actually going to be, retiring. That because I actually believe John Cena. Like, most wrestlers, when they say they retire, they still do like part-time stuff. But I actually believe John Cena. I actually believe when John Cena hangs it up, he's actually going to hang it up. Like, we're still probably going to see him on WWE television here and there, probably cut a promo or whatever. But to actually be in the ring performing, it's gonna be very hard to deal with. But overall, I really enjoyed the opening segment. I'm still very excited to see his final opponent, see who his final match. But this was a really good moment. Really enjoyed this. Afterwards, we end up getting a quick segment. Stephanie Vaquero was about to cut a promo, but she ends up getting attacked by Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella ends up cutting a very short promo, basically ends up saying that she came back to WWE to be on top of the women's division and not to be her sidekick, and that basically she wants a championship match for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is confirmed for Survivor Series. So we'll see how that plays out, which we know Stephanie is winning. I'm just more curious to see how they're going to continue to build this feud, because I don't know if they're going to make it a just one match or they're going to have multiple matches. Because, like I said, majority of the baby faces right now are kind of tight. Well, majority of any opponent that Stephanie could face are kind of busy right now. So I'm very interested to see, are they just going to drag this out until the Royal Rumble, or they're just going to have a filler feud, and then from there, they'll probably have a feud against one of the other top stars. So we'll see how this feud plays out. I'm glad that Nikki turned heel. So we'll see how next week build is going to play. I hope we get a little bit more, in my opinion. Now, I don't know how much more you could really do, especially with a character like Stephanie Vaquero. It's interesting to see how that plays out. But nonetheless, I like what they did here. It was nothing too major, nothing big. But to be fair, I don't think you really need to do anything too much with this, especially when you kind of need Nikki Bella to, no offense, kind of carry the feud to a degree. So we'll see how this all plays out. We get another match for the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent, and that mystery opponent ends up being Dolph Ziggler, which I really loved. I miss that Dolph Ziggler theme music. I miss that theme music so much. It's one of my favorite themes of all time. I love that theme. That theme is very underrated, very underappreciated in my opinion. Can work as a heel and babyface theme. I love that theme. They put on a solid match. Very solid match. I miss Dolph Ziggler in the WWE ring. Solo did pick up the victory, which I thought was, I don't want to say shocking. It wasn't shocking that he won. It was how he won. I did not expect him to win cleanly. He won cleanly, which was very shocking, because Solo does not win clean. He always has to cheat to win his matches. So I was very shocked that they had to win clean, but he won cleanly. I don't think no one has won a match like unfairly in this entire tournament. I think everyone won clean, which is actually quite surprising and very, it's actually kind of refreshing to see that motherfuckers are actually winning matches cleanly in this tournament. So Solo advances. I don't know who he faces next. I highly doubt he wins his next round. But nonetheless, this John Cena tournament has been really good. Really enjoying it. Very interested to see who actually, well, actually, now that I think about it, because I'm looking at thinking of like the people who are in this tournament, it looks like Gunther is probably going to win this tournament, to be honest with you, because I don't see no one else that really makes sense outside of Sheamus. So that's the only one I can really see making sense. But Nonetheless, this was a solid match, solo advances. I don't see him going further than the next round, but we'll see how this plays out. We get a quick segment with the women's War Games teams. Alexa Bliss basically was mentioning Charlotte, mentioning that Charlotte shouldn't be acting the way she is, and how Charlotte's her friend, and how she stuck up for Charlotte, and that Charlotte is letting her down due to the problems that she has with Rhea. The heel War Games team come out with the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, Legend. They tried to attack Alexa Bliss, but we know that she wasn't going to get attacked. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley comes out. Then Charlotte eventually comes out for the save as well. So it looks like it looks like Charlotte's officially part of the War Games match, which we all knew was going to happen. I just kind of wish that we would have just dragged this out a bit, because I just really, it took her about to getting attacked for you to join. I don't understand. And then Alexa Bliss didn't really say anything that was that heartfelt for her to change her mind. In my opinion, I don't think what Alexa Bliss said on the microphone was that heartwarming. This was something that I feel like it was kind of obvious, but nonetheless, it looks like Charlotte Flair is going to be a part of the War Games match. I kind of wish they would have just stretched it out a bit to come up with more of a reasoning, but I'm not really mad at it, to be fair, because we all knew what was going to happen. Now, who's going to be the fifth member? I really don't know, because for the women on the babyface side, the only woman I could think of is maybe AJ Lee, but I really just don't want to see that, if I'm being honest. And then maybe you could go with Bayley due to the history of the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax. Now, for the heels, I don't know who joined the women heels. The only one I can think of is maybe Julia. That's really, maybe, no, Jade Cargill. No, that just wouldn't make no sense. Yeah, that wouldn't make no sense, because she was just feuding with Nia Jax, too. Yeah, no. Yeah, the only one I can think of is maybe Julia. That's really the only person I can think of. So, yeah, I don't know who's going to join the fifth on either side, to be honest, so we'll see how that all plays out. Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. This was really good. This was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. And the main thing that everyone has been predicting actually happened. AJ Lee finally made her return for a while. She ends up costing Becky Lynch the match, distracting her, allowing Maxine to pick up the victory, which I actually enjoyed. I'm not mad at this at all. I did say the main thing I wanted was that if Becky Lynch was going to lose, I wanted her to elevate other talent and put someone over. And that's what she did. She put Maxine Dupree over, which I enjoyed, because a lot of people wanted the Becky Lynch and AJ feud for the IC. I was like, no, that feud should not have the title. It don't need the title. It's AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. We don't need the title for that. We don't. It doesn't need the title. I'm glad that they went this route. Now, I'm hoping, my fear is that they're not going to put any investment into the IC title, because the main reason why the IC title feels the way it does and felt important, and the reason why it's to a certain status, is because Becky Lynch is holding it. It's because they put effort into it. But they only put effort into it because of Becky Lynch. We know how WWE is when it comes to certain champions, that depending on who you are, you're not going to get booked. They done it with Julia. They done it with Io Sky. I'm not going to say they're doing it with Stephanie Rucker, because at least they're trying. But Maxine Dupree, it's kind of a fear that they're probably not going to do much with her. I'm hoping they do. But they weren't doing much with Lyra either before the Becky Lynch feud, too. So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm hoping they actually booked Maxine Dupree. I'm not expecting her to have the same run as Becky Lynch, but at least give us some fucking effort. That's all I'm asking for. Give us some effort. Give us some story. That's all I'm hoping for. What's next for AJ? They kind of tease a Rhea Ripley and AJ Lee thing. We all know, now that I thought about it, now, yeah, she's definitely the fifth member. I totally forgot that they had that segment. Yeah, she's definitely the fifth member. So basically, the women's babyface team is winning. Why? Why every year do the babyfaces have to win War Games? It's so obvious that they're winning. There's no way you're about to have AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Luke. Yeah, they're definitely winning. So yeah, that's definitely going to happen. So yeah, so she's definitely going to be a part of War Games. Very interested to see when they're going to pull the trigger on that Becky Lynch and AJ Lee feud, because they definitely got a feud now. So very interested to see how this plays out. We get Javon Evans, Gunther. Last time is now tournament. This was a banger match. This was a banger match. All of us expected this to be a banger match. It was a great match. Really enjoyed it. They gave Gunther his old thing, which was amazing, because I love that thing. Was amazing. That thing fits him way more than his other thing. His other thing was great, but this thing, his old thing was perfect. It gives off more of a intimidation vibe. I don't know what it is. It's something about that thing that just gives off more intimidation, more of a fear factor. But this was a banger match. Gunther ends up tapping up Javon. Makes sense for Gunther to advance. Gunther most likely is going to win the tournament, which I don't hate it, but Like I said, I just think other people kind of deserve the retired John Cena, in my opinion. But nonetheless, he advanced, and we'll see how this all plays out. But I'm assuming he probably going to make it to the finals. Now we get the main event. Okay, we get both heel and babyface teams come out for the men's war games. They brawl. Then we end up getting the babyface getting the upper hand. Brock Lesnar comes out, takes out everyone. Then you get Roman Reigns. He comes out, takes out Brock Lesnar. And then we end up getting a brawl continuing. Security trying to break it up. Police officer comes out, try to break it up. And that's really the end of Raw. Overall, Raw was a really good show. Really good show. Raw has been consistently been good. The War Games matches, I'm going to be honest, I'm not that excited for because, one, they don't make sense. Two, it's very forced put together. And three, we all know the outcome of those matches. The babyfaces were going to win, which is very unfortunate because the heels need to win. But the heels have always needed to win War Games, but they always give it to the babyface for whatever reason. But nonetheless, good episode overall. You guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.